All right, the Detroit Lions just got another player back from injury, and this is big because it's going to be another boost. Remember, we got Ife Melifonwu back last week, and he was great for us. Now we get another one back. But before we get into that, remember, if the Lions win and the Vikings lose this week, then the Lions win the division and they're the number one seed, first round bye. So let me know in the comments, and we'll talk more about this at the end of the video. But if the Vikings were to lose before the Lions play Monday night, would you rest players and just totally make it another bye week against the I'm sorry. We have to win. I'm sorry. We have to win against the Niners. If the Vikings were to win, right, and they set up a showdown, no matter what we do against the Niners, it's going to be a showdown at the last week of the season. Then that's my question. Do we sit and rest players against the Niners? I know that was a little confusing, but I think you got it. I don't even know if I got it. All right, here it is. It's Jalen Reeves maybin. He is set to return, and we know this because the Lions have started his activation window and got him coming back. And so this was last week. He practiced, didn't quite go for the Bears. Then he's practicing now. He could be back. And now we know this because David Long Jr., who's a linebacker, was released. So we're making room for him to come back. Expect Jalen Reeves maybin. And now this is big because he is he plays a lot. I mean, just even when we were healthy, like he played every special teams unit, and he was a guy that kind of rotated in at times. You know, when we had some injuries or guys were banged up at the linebackers, again, even when we were healthy. So you can expect to see him, and that's great. Another really good, like, unexpected boost that we got is that Alex Anzalone is close to start practicing. And he said, I don't know about this week, so that puts him perfect. Let's just hold him out to the playoffs is probably what we'll do. And that's huge. So you got Alex Anzalone coming back. You got Ife Melifonwu. You've got Alex Anzalone. So not only it went from really bleak just a couple weeks ago, right? We're losing all these players. The Vikings they're right on our heels. The Eagles are just like right there too. And it's like, oh no. Now all of a sudden we're getting a couple guys back. Just what we thought. We're still missing a ton of players, but we're getting a couple people back. We're now in a situation where we win, Vikings lose, we win the division. If the Vikings were to win, fine, we control our own destiny like majorly, because then we come home game, play the Vikings for first round bye, number one seed, and the division. So and then if we get the number one seed, I know every team wants the number one seed. That's great. You get a bye. But a lot of teams are just like, we just want to get in. And there's only a few teams that they really can get it, want it, but need it. We are in the need. We absolutely need that number one rest. 2 games at home to play in the Super Bowl. So you got that. That's such a difference than 3 games, one or 2 of those on the road. And that's tough. You're going to Philly, or your first game's at the Rams. Like, I don't want to see them again. It's just, I'm over that. That was a cool story. We all know the story. We love it. It's like, enough of that. It's hard to beat team 3 years in a row or whatever, 3 times in a row. Okay. The other one that I think's really good to look at here, as you look at it, you've got couple projected returns that we can expect. Graham Glasgow is projected to return this week against the Niners. Perfect. If he doesn't, then we've got Christian Mahogany, who is just unbelievable. We're going to break down a couple things that he did, and it was just like, oh my gosh, this guy, he's great. And that's exactly what you were hoping he would be, just because we'll talk about it. We'll go back to Christian Mahogany here in just a second. But let's go back to one of these guys that are coming back. A couple key players. Khalif Raymond, again, he opened his 21-day window, meaning he's 21 days to get back or his season's over. And so if they're starting that up, he could be back. This is huge just because punt returns, straight up. It's such an important overlooked part of the game where it's like, just catch the ball, get us the possession. And now we've got different guys back there, and you're just like, oh man, catch it, just catch it. So that's a good one. Jalen Reeves, maybe we just talked about. Alex Anzalone, we talked about. David Montgomery. I get it, right? We're all excited that he's not going to be out for the year and everything, but he's still looking at 4 weeks, so he's at second round. Even then, so I'm just not really counting on David Montgomery, and that's fine. We've got a capable running back, like one of the top running backs in the league. So it's a bummer. Love the 1-2 punch, Sonic and Knuckles, but it's all right. Enos Rakestraw, holy smokes, this would be huge to get him back. Carlton Davis, again, I'm not counting on him. I'm not counting on Aiden Hutchinson either. But Enos Rakestraw, come on. What a huge thing that would do to get back another. Again, we're just so depleted with injuries that these guys are a huge boost to have them back. So it's kind of this weird thing where we lose guys, devastating, keep winning, and now they just slowly come back. And you're like, oh man, it's like adding a free agent. They're like, sweet. But they're even better because they know the system and they're, the whole thing. So I love seeing that. Okay. Now, one of the things we wanted to look at was Christian Mahogany. Talked about him a few times over the last couple of videos, and I think it's important to be like, yeah, this dude is unreal. Let's take a look at it here. I'll pull it up. This play right here, I just love. You see him at the guard position. He's just going to stab at this guy, hold his arm out straight, and move up to 53 so fast that he doesn't even know what hits him, moves his hips across, just a 6-yard gain. Like it's nothing. Let's watch it again. And another guy you want to watch on this play is Graham Glasgow, or is Ragnow. Look how he's got to get over to this guy. He snaps the ball and just jabs on him so fast. Man. Check out 31 right here. He's thinking, all right, I'm cool back here. Little does he know Zeitler's just going to be coming right for him. And he's like, oh, geez. Oh, geez. Okay, so Christian Mahogany, you see it right here. PFF grade of tied 9th overall for all guards played in week 16. 82.5 pass grade. 1 pressure allowed. Huge, because remember, this draft class is a little weird. You've got Terrion Arnold, complete, absolute check mark, home run pick. Then it was Enos Rakestraw. Hasn't really played. Then you had those 4th-round picks, Sion Vaki and the other big tackle that hasn't played at all. It's like, but then you get in Mahogany, and you get into the LSU defensive tackle, Wingo, and there you go. Right there, it's like, okay, those are some home run picks. So if Vaki can end up playing, hopefully, and we've talked about this, we believe that Vaki will end up playing more than Craig Reynolds here over the next 2, 3, 4 weeks, because Craig Reynolds just looks slow. And I know he comes in for Jahmyr Gibbs, who's dynamic, explosive, all those things, but Craig Reynolds looks slow. Anyway, Vaki is a guy that could definitely play more, but Christian Mahogany makes this draft class just be like, okay, I feel a lot better about this draft class because it wasn't a Brad Holmes nail it out of the park type of draft class. It was still like really good, and every GM would take what he did. But if Mahogany, you start checking these guys off, they start playing more and doing their thing. It's like, all right, cool, good draft class for sure. Now, one other thing is we look at, speaking of just kind of injuries, one thing is that Terrion Arnold actually missed practice here because he was sick. So that's okay. He's going to be all right. All right, the other one, last thing is Teddy Bridgewater comes back. And That's weird. It's a little weird. I don't know. Let me know in the comments, the Teddy Bridgewater thing. I need a little more time with it, but it's like, shoot, I was hoping Hendon Hooker was just so good in practice that they didn't need anybody else, you know? It's just like, this dude's incredible. He's like, remember Patrick Mahomes was like practicing behind Alex Smith? I was like, man, whoa, you're not going to believe when this dude starts playing. Like, that's kind of what I was hoping for, but that's the only takeaway I have is why would we need him unless Hendon Hooker's just not good? Dan Campbell said it wasn't because of that, but it makes you wonder. So let me know your thoughts in the comments, and we'll see all of you on the next one.